For more than a century, oil has ruled the world. It's fueled wars, built empires, and dictated the fate of nations. But what if I told you the era of oil is coming to an end? That the very thing powering your car, your home, and even your country's economy could lose its dominance sooner than anyone expected. And when it happens, your life, your bills, even your freedom to move could change forever. Stay with me till the end of this video, because if you skip even a single second, you'll miss the shocking truth about what the future of energy really means for you and the hidden powers rising behind the scenes. Before we dive in, hit that like button if you want to understand the energy revolution everyone's talking about. Comment below if you've noticed gas prices rising or electricity bills climbing, because this video will explain why it is happening and what comes next. And trust me, by the end, you'll see the world of energy in a way nobody else is showing you. Don't skip. Watch carefully, because every second reveals the future your parents never prepared you for. Oil isn't just a fuel, it's the lifeline of modern civilization. From the gasoline in our cars to the electricity that powers our cities, from the plastic in our phones to the fertilizers that grow our food. Oil is the invisible thread running through everything we use every single day. For decades, nations have fought over it. Wars were waged, entire economies were built, and global power was concentrated in the hands of oil-rich countries. Saudi Arabia, Russia, and the United States didn't just dominate the map because of their size, but because of the barrels of black gold they controlled. But oil's dominance has a hidden flaw. It's a finite resource. It pollutes our planet, and the world is finally realizing there's a choice, a much better one. Think about your last trip to the gas station. Did you feel your wallet shrink with every gallon you pumped? That's oil's tight grip on your life. But soon, the very concept of paying for fuel at a pump might not even exist, because electricity is on track to replace gasoline in almost every way imaginable. This brings us to the shocking rise of renewable energy. This isn't just a buzzword you hear on the news. It's a global revolution that is quietly rewriting the rules of power. Let's start with solar energy. Solar panels are now cheaper than ever before. Entire cities can be powered by the sun, transforming barren deserts into massive power plants. Then there's wind energy. Giant offshore and onshore turbines are now generating electricity for millions of homes, silently replacing old, dirty coal and gas plants. And of course, we have electric vehicles, or EVs. Companies like Tesla and BYD, along with countless other automakers, are actively phasing out gasoline cars. EVs aren't just cleaner, they are fundamentally reshaping global oil demand. Alongside them, reliable, large-scale sources like hydropower and nuclear energy continue to push fossil fuels out of the picture. Here's a shocking fact for you. Some countries, like Norway, are planning to completely phase out gasoline cars by 2030. That's just a few years away. The era of oil dependency your grandparents knew could end within your lifetime. Imagine this for a moment. You wake up tomorrow, unplug your car from its charger at home, and never have to visit a gas station again. Your electricity bill replaces your fuel costs, and the air outside your window is cleaner than your parents ever dreamed. That future is much closer than you think. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Oil will be around forever. But the truth is, the world isn't talking enough about how quickly oil demand is dropping. In developed countries, we're already seeing demand plateau, and the shift is accelerating faster than anyone predicted. The adoption of EVs is a huge factor. Millions of electric cars are replacing gasoline cars on the roads in Europe, North America, and Asia every year. At the same time, governments are pushing this change with green policies. They're offering huge incentives for people to switch to renewables and penalizing our dependence on fossil fuels. Industries are transforming too. Factories and entire cities are being redesigned to run on electricity instead of oil-based fuels. Here, as a shocking comparison for you, Energy analysts are now warning that global oil demand could drop by over 30% by the year 2040. The current renewable trends continue. This isn't just a theory, it's a data-driven forecast. This shift isn't just about big oil companies losing profits. Your everyday life is going to change. Gas stations might start disappearing from our cities. The price of electricity, not gasoline, will determine how much it costs to get around. The entire economics of moving from point A to point B will be completely different from what we know today. As oil loses its crown, the entire map of global power is being redrawn. Oil-rich nations like Saudi Arabia, which have held immense influence for decades, may see that power decline. On the other hand, nations that are rich in renewable technology, like China, are rising. China already dominates the world's production of solar panels, wind turbines, and the batteries that power our EVs. The old energy wars fought over oil fields aren't over there, just shifting. The new battleground is electricity, technology, and the rare minerals needed to create it. For example, China currently controls over 80% of solar panel production and dominates the supply chains for lithium-ion batteries. Suddenly, a country that never had major oil reserves is shaping the world's energy future. The next time you charge your phone or your electric car, think about who controls that energy and who decides what it costs. That's the new battlefield of the 21st century. This isn't just about geopolitics, it's personal. It affects you directly. First, transportation. EVs are steadily replacing gasoline cars. Charging your car at home could soon cost you significantly less than filling up a gas tank. Second, your energy bills. Installing solar panels on your roof or buying power from wind farms could lower your monthly costs for good. Third, jobs. While jobs in the oil industry may decline, the renewable energy sector is creating millions of new roles worldwide, from engineers to technicians to installers. And finally, your lifestyle. Imagine living in a city with fewer gas stations, cleaner skies free of smog, and streets filled with quiet electric cars and bikes. That world isn't science fiction anymore, it's arriving right now, and you are here to witness it. But here's the most critical point. What we've discussed is just the beginning. The oil industry isn't going down without a fight, but the seeds of a global energy revolution have been firmly planted. In the next section, you'll discover the hidden minerals driving this massive shift: lithium, cobalt, and nickel, and why controlling them is the new path to global power. UL witnessed how countries are silently racing to dominate the 21st century energy game. And it will shock you to see who might replace the old oil kings. Oil's reign is under threat. Renewable energy is rising quietly, but with unstoppable speed. EVs, solar, and wind are not just trends. They are rewriting the rules of power. The cost of your energy, the way you travel, and even the cities you live in will never be the same. Oil is losing its grip on the world, but don't be fooled. Another kind of power is quietly rising. It's buried deep underground in the form of minerals that make our technology, cars, and even renewable energy possible. Lithium, cobalt, nickel, these are the new oil. And the countries and companies that control them are quietly shaping the 21st century energy game. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the next global battles may not be fought over oil, but over these tiny, shiny metals and how they already affect your life in ways you can't imagine. The world is entering a new era. Fossil fuels may still exist, but the next economic and geopolitical power lies in minerals that store and transfer energy. Lithium, cobalt, and nickel aren't just elements on the periodic table. They are the backbone of every electric vehicle, every battery, and every renewable energy system we build. Let's start with lithium, the star of modern energy. Just one electric vehicle battery contains tens of kilograms of lithium, which stores energy incredibly efficiently and powers our devices for hours on end. Then there's cobalt. It ensures stability in batteries, preventing them from overheating and catching fire. Without cobalt, mass-producing EVs and smartphones safely would be impossible. And we can't forget nickel. It increases the energy density of batteries, giving EVs longer ranges and making long-distance travel without gasoline a reality. Here's a shocking statistic. Global lithium demand is expected to grow 5 to 7 times by the year 2035, and cobalt demand could triple in that same period. This isn't science fiction. These minerals are already dictating the future of transportation, energy, and technology. Think about it. Every time you charge your phone, your laptop, or your electric car, you are part of a global competition for these minerals. The tiny battery in your hand has quietly become a key player in the global energy battle. Just as oil once created superpowers, these minerals are now reshaping global influence, but in ways few people notice. China, for instance, dominates rare earth processing and battery production. It controls around 60 to 70% of lithium-ion battery manufacturing, giving it immense influence over the entire electric vehicle and green tech world. Then you have Australia, the world's largest lithium producer. The country supplies raw materials to almost every tech and EV manufacturer, making it critical to global energy security. Meanwhile, the Democratic Republic of Congo is incredibly rich in cobalt. But political instability and serious concerns over child labor make it a controversial yet absolutely vital supplier. And down in South America, Chile and Argentina are part of the lithium triangle, holding massive lithium reserves that are attracting billions in foreign investment. Here, as a mind-blowing fact, the next global superpower may not be oil-rich, may be lithium or cobalt-rich. Countries that were previously invisible on the global stage are now central to the energy revolution. Imagine this for a second. Your next electric car or smartphone cannot be produced because the supply of lithium or cobalt gets disrupted. Suddenly, your gadgets and even your transportation are tied to geopolitical decisions happening thousands of miles away. It's a new reality we're all living in. But this energy battle isn't just limited to countries. Technology companies are quietly becoming the new oil barons of the 21st century. Look at Tesla. It's securing lithium contracts worldwide and investing heavily in battery factories, essentially creating its own energy independence for its electric vehicles. Companies like CATL and Panasonic supply the batteries for a huge portion of global EVs and energy storage systems, controlling vital parts of the supply chain. Even Apple and Samsung depend on a steady flow of cobalt and lithium for their devices. Without a secure supply, production stops, affecting millions of users around the globe. Let's make a shocking comparison. In just 20 years, a tech company that controls batteries could wield as much influence as Exxon, Shell, or Saudi Aramco did during the peak of the oil era. The age of oil kings is ending. Welcome to the era of battery barons. The next time you charge your phone or EV, just think about this. It's not just a battery powering your device. It's a piece of global power. And every time you use it, you're part of this silent revolution. Unlike oil, which was visible in drilling rigs and pipelines, these minerals are hidden, and so are the conflicts over them. There's a global race for resources happening right now. Countries are scrambling to secure mines, sign exclusive agreements, and invest billions of dollars abroad just to control the supply. This gives them immense economic leverage. A shortage of lithium or cobalt could halt EV production or drive up prices, giving the controlling nations massive bargaining power. And with rising demand, there's a real potential for conflict. Disputes over mining rights, export restrictions, and labor issues could spark international tensions, much like the oil wars of the 20th century. Here is a shocking scenario for you. A shortage of cobalt in the Congo could delay EV production worldwide, increase your electricity costs, and slow down the entire transition away from oil. Your life, your car, and your bills could all feel the impact even if you live continents away. Minerals may seem small and distant, but they are quietly controlling your technology, your energy, and your daily life. Ignoring them is like ignoring oil back in the 1970s. you might only notice the crisis when it hits your wallet. This shift isn't just for corporations or countries, it directly affects ordinary people like you and me. Our transportation is changing. Electric vehicles rely on lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Without them, gasoline cars might remain dominant for much longer. Our energy bills are connected too. Homes powered by solar panels and batteries depend on these same minerals. Any shortages or price spikes could make electricity more expensive. And of course, there are our consumer electronics. Smartphones, laptops, and tablets all require these minerals. A disruption in the supply chain can affect their availability and prices. On the other hand, this shift is also creating new opportunities. While oil-related jobs may decline, the renewable energy and battery sectors are creating millions of new roles worldwide. Think about it. Your child's future car, your next phone, or your home solar system all depend on a silent global battle for minerals. The countries and companies fighting for these resources are quietly shaping your lifestyle and your finances, whether you realize it or not. Let's look at some real-life examples of this mineral race. China's dominance is undeniable. The country owns majority stakes in cobalt mines in the Congo and controls most of the world's lithium-ion battery production. Without China, global EV production would slow down dramatically. Then there's Tesla's strategy. Tesla is buying up lithium mines in Nevada, securing a direct supply to avoid future shortages. And look at Australia. It exports lithium to tech giants globally, becoming a key player in the green economy. Meanwhile, the governments of Chile and Argentina are partnering with major companies to increase their lithium extraction, knowing full well that it's a strategic asset for the future. Here is a shocking insight. The next global energy war won't involve oil fields. It will involve mineral-rich lands, technological dominance, and control over the supply chain. And the stakes are even higher because your daily life now directly depends on it. So, why are minerals more important than oil right now? Oil powered the 20th century, but minerals are powering the 21st. Unlike oil, the demand for lithium, cobalt, and nickel is growing exponentially, driven by EVs and renewable energy storage. And these minerals are everywhere in modern life. From electric vehicles and phones to power grids and solar farms, they touch every aspect of our world. This gives countries that control these minerals incredible geopolitical leverage. They can influence global trade, energy policies, and access to technology itself. The age of oil kings may be ending, but the era of battery barons is just beginning. And the person who controls these minerals could control your future transportation, your electricity costs, and even the gadgets you rely on every single day. The world is no longer just about oil. Lithium, cobalt, and nickel are quietly taking over, giving power to countries and companies that few people ever expected. In the next section, we'll see how these mineral and energy shifts are creating a new kind of global conflict, a silent energy war that will determine which nations rise, which companies dominate, and how ordinary people like you will be affected. You'll witness the rise of new powers and the decline of old ones, and some of what you'll learn may shock you. Oil is fading, minerals are rising. And now, the most intense battle in human history, ICT fought on battlefields, or CCIT, being fought quietly. In laboratories, boardrooms, and underground mines. Lithium, cobalt, nickel, they are the new weapons, and the world's future depends on who controls them. The question is, are you ready to see the truth? Because what's coming will affect your car, your home, your money, and even your freedom. For more than a century, oil dictated global power. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Russia, and the US dominated the world because of it. Wars were waged, alliances were built, economies flourished, stole on the black gold beneath the ground. But here's the shocking truth. Oil is losing its grip faster than most people think. Electric vehicles are rapidly replacing gasoline cars across Europe, the US, and China. Solar and wind energy are generating more electricity than ever before. Governments are pushing for green policies, and corporations are investing billions in batteries and renewable tech. If you've noticed rising fuel prices or higher electricity bills lately, that's just the beginning. Your life is about to change in ways you can imagine, and oil won't save you anymore. The influence of oil-dependent nations is shrinking, while countries rich in minerals are stepping into the spotlight. The world map of power is being redrawn before our very eyes. So, what is replacing oil? The answer lies in the hidden battlefield of minerals. Lithium, cobalt, and nickel are not just elements on the periodic table. They are the invisible soldiers of this new energy war. Lithium powers the batteries in electric vehicles and home energy storage systems. Without it, the entire green transportation revolution grinds to a halt. Cobalt is crucial for keeping those batteries safe and efficient. Without it, your expensive gadgets could overheat and fail. Nickel is the key to extending an EV's range, making long-distance electric travel a practical reality. Here's a shocking statistic to put this in perspective. By 2035, the demand for lithium alone could increase fivefold, and cobalt demand could triple. This isn't some distant, far-off problem, it's happening right now. Imagine every device in your home, your phone, your laptop, your future car. The batteries storing your solar power, they are all part of a global fight you can even see. This war is being waged over resources concentrated in just a few key locations. The main hotspots: China, Australia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Chile, and Argentina. This brings us to the critical question: who controls these minerals? The rise of these resources is creating a brand new power map. Here's the reality. China currently controls 60 to 70% of all lithium-ion battery production and has a stranglehold on major cobalt supply chains. Australia is a mining titan, supplying the world with a huge portion of its lithium. The Democratic Republic of Congo is the cobalt heart of the planet, holding the majority of the world's reserves despite significant political instability. And in South America, Chile and Argentina form a lithium triangle, striking massive deals with global tech and EV companies. Think about that. Countries that had almost no global influence 50 years ago are now pivotal to the energy and tech revolution. Your phone, your next car, and even your electricity bills depend on decisions made in these nations. Your EV might run out of power, or your phone could become absurdly expensive, not because of an oil crisis, but because a distant country decided to restrict its mineral exports. But this energy war isn't just about nations. A new class of kings is rising. Tech companies, corporations are now the new power brokers. Tesla isn't just a car company. It's an energy empire, securing its own lithium agreements and building battery gigafactories around the world. Battery giants like CATL and Panasonic are supplying the globe not just for cars, but for massive renewable energy storage projects. And companies like Apple and Samsung are completely dependent on cobalt and lithium for every device they make. Without a stable supply, their production lines stop. Here's a shocking comparison. In 20 years, these tech companies may wield as much global influence as Exxon, Shell, or Saudi Aramco did at the peak of oil dominance. Every time you charge your EV or your smartphone, you are witnessing this silent war for power between nations and corporations. Your daily life is quietly tied to the outcome. This massive shift is completely reshaping the global economy. For oil-dependent nations, the future looks bleak. Their revenues are dropping, forcing them to diversify, and many are struggling to adapt. Meanwhile, mineral-rich and tech-savvy nations are seeing their influence explode. With billions in new revenue and control over the future of EVs, electronics, and energy storage. And what about the impact on you, the consumer? The prices for EVs, batteries, and electronics will fluctuate wildly based on mineral availability. Picture this shocking scenario. A major lithium shortage in 2030 could delay the production of millions of electric vehicles, cause your home electricity bills to spike, and even slow down the global transition to renewable energy. Your lifestyle could directly depend on what happens in a mine in Congo, a boardroom in China, or a political negotiation in Chile. Your next electric car, your next smartphone, or the solar panels you want for your roof might be delayed or become far more expensive, and it's not your fault. It's the silent energy war directly affecting your life. While the world watches old-school oil crises, the real conflicts are happening underground and in tech boardrooms. Alliances are being formed, and investments are being made at a breathtaking pace. Countries are racing to secure mines, form strategic partnerships, and stockpile these critical resources. This is already creating new tensions. Export restrictions, labor issues, and even territorial disputes over mineral-rich lands could escalate without warning. The nations that hold lithium, cobalt, and nickel now have the same kind of political and economic leverage that oil-producing countries used to enjoy. Your phone, your car, and your home's electricity might seem ordinary, but they are now tied to global tensions that could affect prices, availability, and even national security. It's easy to get lost in the geopolitics, but let's not forget the human impact of this global shift. It's huge. Our transportation is changing forever. The success of EVs depends entirely on lithium and cobalt, and any delays in the supply chain will slow down their adoption. Our energy bills will be affected. Homes powered by solar energy rely on battery storage, which is tied directly to mineral availability and cost, and jobs are on the line. The oil industry may see millions of jobs shrink, while the renewable energy and battery tech sectors create millions of new ones. A person's first car might be electric, but a mineral shortage could make it unaffordably expensive. Your home might run on solar panels, but the cost of the battery to store that power could spike unexpectedly. So, what does the future hold? Here are some shocking predictions based on current trends. First, oil's decline is accelerating. Global oil demand, especially for transportation, could drop by 30 to 50% by 2040. Second, minerals will dominate. Lithium, cobalt, and nickel will become the new determinants of global power. Third, tech company influence will skyrocket. Battery manufacturers and tech giants may soon rival oil giants in their global clout. Fourth, we will see a new kind of energy inequality. People and nations without access to these minerals or renewable technologies could be left dangerously behind. And finally, silent conflicts will become more common. Shortages, export restrictions, and supply chain crises could spark geopolitical tensions that directly affect our everyday lives. The world you know is quietly being reshaped. Your car, your phone, and your electricity bills are all tied to battles you can see, but you will feel their impact. This raises some critical questions for our future. Will oil-rich nations adapt fast enough to survive this mineral revolution? Could tech companies eventually hold more power than governments? What happens to the global economy if the lithium or cobalt supply chains suddenly collapse? Will electricity fully replace oil, or will a more complex hybrid energy system emerge? And how will ordinary people like you and me cope with these shifting costs, new jobs, and unfamiliar technologies? These are the questions shaping your future, your lifestyle, and the entire world economy. The era of oil is ending. Minerals and technology are quietly taking over, silently rewriting the rules of global power. The countries, the companies, and even the decisions you make today are all part of this vast, unseen energy war. The stakes are your lifestyle, your money, and your freedom. Watch closely. Because the next 20 years will decide who controls the future, and it's all happening faster than anyone imagined. Thanks for watching, and if you found this insightful, be sure to follow for more.